How's everybody today? Well, I trust? Well, good. Excited to get back to work this week. We got the weekend over with. It's time to go and get our minds right and move forward. And that's what we got in front of us. We're moving forward and we're ready to get ourselves going and take build off of what good things we found on the tape, make those be more better, and put it towards the attack that we need to have for the Tulsa guys. And that's where we're at right now. And so I think that's a decent introduction. What y'all got for me?
Coach, normally this time of year, a football coach would be in a conference playing against either a rival or somebody you've played many, many times. I think this is the 34th time the Beavers were playing somebody for the first time this season. What are the extra challenges of having to dial up another team that you guys haven't seen before?
Well, it's I guess it's unique in that sense, but it's who we get to play this week. That's really the only thing that matters. We got to pay attention to what we do and who we're going to go attack. And so this one is it's an opportunity for us to get ourselves to feel good again if we'll go play well. And that's what we have to pay attention to right now. We'll have the opportunity to still be in a conference opportunity the week after that. That one really doesn't matter at this point in time. What matters is playing well in the opportunity that's been given to us. This is the opportunity we got. Let's go do the most with it and let's attack these guys. And it's a chance to play the game that you love and do what you love to do. And so that's what we're fired up about, and that's the way we're going to attack it.
I was talking to a colleague, and he brought up Jabari Johnson, and what a exciting runner he is. And then we were talking about design plays versus ad-lib plays. And when you're a quarterback like that and you've got those skills, is the design play, hey, we're going to do this design play, or do they have the freedom to say, oh, I've got that, look at that, I'm out of here?
Well, the cool thing with a guy like Jabari is you've got the ability to do both. And in any of those, the run game, the throw game, they can all turn into that. And I think that's an element that he uses to his advantage, that we can use to our advantage. And that's something that we'll look to grow on and maybe find new tweaks to how that can grow even more. You're always putting little pieces together, and I'd like to see that expand even more so.
One more thing for me, you think about how tough that loss was last weekend to get past it and to move on. I mean, there's just 2 games left. What's the message to the players and the other coaches?
Well, that's the biggest thing of all is exactly that, and getting our minds back to understand you've got an opportunity, and so that opportunity is here. What are you going to do with it? And we've got to make sure that we overcome the feelings in that from this past weekend. And regardless of your situation as a team, you play a game and you've got the opportunity. Hopefully that period of time is celebration, and that's a good thing, but then you come back to work and it's time to move forward on a new opponent. You can't, what you did yesterday, you can't ride that. Now, you can get some momentum if that has been successful, but when it wasn't successful, especially the way that this one played out, that has to be left behind also. It needs to be mourned, it needs to be dealt with, and we did that yesterday. That has to be behind us. We show up tomorrow to go to work. Our focus has to be on what we're going to do on Tuesday, workday Tuesday, and get back. We got to put ourselves back into the process, the weekly process that you do to get yourself ready to play. And I've got a lot of respect for these players and these coaches in regards to that's the way we've been going about doing things, and they've responded very well to it. There was a lot of emotion and things like that need to be put to rest and put to bed. And as you go into each week, there's new demons that have to be fought. Whether you're having good things or bad things happen to you, you got to make sure that the focus is where it is. And so we dealt with that yesterday, and we're looking to move forward now and build off things that are good. The production, moving the ball and some things like that, the throwing the game. Everybody was. We didn't throw it as well the week before. We threw it a lot better. We got more movement and things like that were taking place. Had some guys have big games. Jabari threw a ball obviously a lot better. Wells had a hell of a game as a receiver. Hank had another great game running the ball. We need to build off of that. Certainly there were some opportunities that we need to make sure we capitalize on the offensive side of the ball. We get in the red zone, we need to score touchdowns. We need to score and do those things. And that we take care of that. We've got the ability to help ourselves win the game. On defense, our defense has played pretty well the last 2 weeks. Those are 2 good performances in regards to playing defensive football. Continue to win the situations. And that's a good thing there. And they, as much as things are growing in that respect, and I am proud of the way those guys have fought and played, if we don't give up that touchdown, then we win the game. Everybody can look in the mirror and understand that each of us had the opportunity to make the plays necessary to win the game. And with the special teams, the week before, it worked to our advantage. Last week we had 2 hits. We've got to get that taken care of. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's getting cleaned up. Needs to get cleaned up, and it needs to work for us. So that to me is where you go about it and you make things happen. And then it's the nature of you deal with the game and what's taking place. And that's what we talked about a lot yesterday also. Football is a situational game, and you need to win the situations. Well, if I'm on defense, my job is to don't let the other team score. If we have doesn't matter how I go out on the field. It could be because the perfect world where the score is 99-0 and everything we do is a sack or a tackle for a loss or an interception or whatever. That's all great. You get to go out there and play again. But if something has happened to your football team and it's a sudden change, whether you're backed up like we were on Saturday night, well, then keep points off the board. And they were able to do that in a red zone scenario. That was cool. Well, we've got to work to do that all the time. And whatever the scenario is that gets created, be it positive, build off of, or if it was something that happened against we have to respond to that with making something positive happen. And that's where, we've got to look to make a little bit more happen. There was, the cool thing about the defense playing situational football, we get the ball back with 1 minute and 23, 4, 5 seconds left inside the 30-yard line with still a timeout on the clock, go win the game. And we all feel a lot better about things. There's still going to be things that you're going to say, hey, this got to be better, that's got to be better, and all that. And that's going to be in every game that you play. And then being able to capitalize on it, each of us being able to capitalize on it. And that's, again, why it's the coolest team game that there is. In basketball is a team game, right? But if I play on the basketball team, I am the offense, I'm also the defense. I'm also the special teams, inbound, whatever it is. We all have to rely on each other, the other phases of the game, which I think makes it pretty cool. And it also helps you be able to deal with life as it goes on later down the ride, because you're going to count on a lot of people within your family and different things like that. So I know y'all didn't want to hear me talk about that, so we'll move on.
You mentioned red zone offense, and that's been an issue all season long. Is there any common theme that you see in that as you look back at the tape on Saturday about what went wrong in the red zone or the maroon zone just outside it?
I think the big thing is making plays that we have the opportunity to. I thought we had some opportunities to have made some plays that we got to make sure we secure finishing things. And some of them get seen more than others based on where that finish of that play necessarily takes place, if that makes sense what I'm saying. That's got to be our focus and what we work to do. And if we do it better this week, then it's going to help us play more better. And that's the nature of where we're at.
Teams talked a lot about not wanting to ride Hank 30 carries a game. On Saturday, you only used him. Was that a senior day thing? Was there a reason that Hank was the only running back in action on Saturday?
Well, I think Hank was playing pretty damn good. And I'm a firm believer, if they ain't going to stop him, why should we? And if you got a hot hand, let it ride. And I think, Hank deserved the opportunity, being the last time he got to play here in front of our fans and Reeser and things like that. So there was a lot that contributed to that. But I thought, that's a guy that, I go anywhere with him. Any dark alley you want, whatever it is. He's a tough son of a buck, and it doesn't mean that the other guys in that room aren't either. I think we've got some good running backs here that can make some good things happen, and I think we'll continue to see more of those.
Following up on that, one of those guys being Cornell, seems like, he had a nice stretch there, but his usage is going down a little. I'm wondering, what has led to that, just him being kind of dialed back?
Just opportunity, and he'll be back. You'll see him again. I like him too.
A lot. Sure. And, speaking to the defensive side of the ball, Aiden's been crucial in these last few games for you guys, but he came limping off at one point in the game. What's the latest that you can share, I guess, on his stats? Well,
I expect he's been dealing with injury. A lot of our guys have been dealing with injury, and that's why you've seen different faces in a lot of levels of the defense and the offense and the special teams. Different faces are coming in because guys have been in and out, been banged up, and he got banged the week before. He was able to battle himself back. My expectation is that we'll have him back. He had to work himself back through the week last week, and so that's one of those late season manageable deals, but I would expect that we'll be able to have him. And one thing is pretty cool. Tyree played his tail off with haven't been given the opportunity, and that's another big thing that this time of the year. Well, any team, when you're in a team situation, when you're in football, next man has got to be ready. You're only one snap away from being the man. And so when you see guys make those things happen, I think that that's really cool. And that was an example of another one that shined when given that opportunity. And so we will continue to work on that. And that's another reason why I still refuse to believe they won't let guys have 5 years to play 5 and then everybody can do what they do. But that's not my soapbox.
Do you, if you don't have a read option play, but you see a night like the other night where the defense, because Hank was getting every play on every call, but it was wide open on the edge, nothing there, do you not want your quarterback to see that and pull the ball, even if a running play has been called? I would think you wouldn't, because you risk a fumble, because there is no read option play called, but it's wide open there. Where are you on that? Would you have wanted the quarterback to pull at one point, because it's just like there?
Well,
what do you think?
a lot of people see a lot of things, and Jabari knows what he's seeing. He knows what he's doing, and then those opportunities are there. I think he's got the ability to do something with it, and when they're not there, he knows how to handle it. And it's everybody thinks they see what they see, but sometimes it's not what they see because of what's really taking place. And but it is a tool that he has, and a tool that we have to use, and like you'll see it grow.
Over the past couple of weeks, the point has been to play both quarterbacks. I'm curious, what's kind of changed after that game where it's Bari's show the whole way through? Obviously, it doesn't leave with injury like he did the previous week. Is it Bari's show kind of moving forward, and what's really led to his separation?
Well, we'll continue to grow as we have, and you've got we've got two guys that have game experience that have done things for us, and it's we've been managing that and been working it as the season has gone on, and as Jabari moved forward, he was doing, we were throwing the ball better and making things happen, and we were moving pretty well, and so you continue to ride with that kind of if you got some things going, work with it, and it's we'll continue to go about it the same way, and I'd like to think that we're going to see much more growth this week, and again, the scenario we'll deal with as it comes about, however that is, whatever that is the case, and we'll tweak some things to try to take more advantage of being able to hit the run game, the throw game, the protection game, any of those deals, if that makes sense what I'm saying. But I think it's just a matter of things continuing to grow, and when you get opportunities, go snatch it and do what you can with it.
One positive thing on Saturday night was Elijah Washington on the kickoff return game. He seems to have some real sizzle, or whatever word you want to put with it. What do you see in him that makes him a good fit for that spot, and how can he grow in that going forward?
Well, I think Elijah got some room to grow there, and he showed some juice, and he's got the ability to make some things happen, and that was good. That was one of the fun things. There's some fun things that we watched yesterday, and there were some things that are cleanup things that we watched yesterday, and obviously get over the pain things from yesterday. But that's a bright spot that's there, and I think a guy here's an opportunity and do something with it, and so we help continue for that opportunity to grow in as many ways as we can. So we're excited about that. I think it's cool.
Again, I know playing a complete game was one of your goals, just kind of heading into this week to keep that win streak alive. When it comes just to finishing the game, what are some things that the team you feel like needs to do in order to find a little bit more success in that fourth quarter and kind of outlast your opponents to pull off some of those victories?
Well, I think the big thing there is finishing your job and paying attention to it that way. That was what had worked to our advantage the previous week. We kept battling, all three phases of the game kept battling in their fashion, in their responsibility, their requirement of what was necessary for the team, and found ways to make it happen. Didn't worry about anything that was going on, made it happen. And we made the big throw, for example. So when the opportunity got presented, we made the big throw, the big catch on the sideline, the big run the next play, and got it in the end zone, and that put the scoreboard back into our favor. When we have those opportunities, we got to find ways to still connect and finish those plays. And that's what, as an offensive guy, that's what I get the opportunity to do. As a defensive guy, I get the opportunity to make sure that I get the ball back for our offense, because that's what the good Lord built the defense for, get the ball back for the offense without giving up any points. So that's where we have to pay attention to those things, and we structure that in practice. And then in special teams, we need to make sure that we not only we do our job, but we're doing something to favor the game, flip the game in our favor, whether it's a big return or a field position battle, whatever those things are, but take accountable for my own piece of responsibility. So we break those during the course of the week. We work to finish those deals, and I thought our team The difference in this one from the previous one, the team kept fighting to take care of the team, but we didn't get the play made that we needed to get it over the edge or respond to putting it back over the edge, whatever. It's the matter of paying attention to the scenario, if I'm making sense what I'm saying. Not by any stretch was because no guy went out there and nobody tries to miss a tackle or not cover a guy or not block a guy or not make a good throw or a catch, whatever. Nobody tries to do any of those things. It's a matter of just building what you do throughout the course of the week, make those habits be as such that when the bullets fly on game night and that opportunity is there, that I'm making that play and I see myself making that play, and I've seen myself do it 1,000 times during the week, and it happens by natural reaction on Saturday. If it could happen the week before, it could happen this week, and those are both history. We got to deal with building everything we can to make it so it happens this week, and then if you get yourself in an opportunity where you can make it so it doesn't come down to the last plays of the game, that would probably make everybody happy. Might even put color back in my hair.
Hey, Coach, what about, you mentioned Tyree Blake, what about the play? How did Andy Alfieri look to you and play out, getting a lot of reps in that game?
Thought Andy did a really good job, and he has for a couple weeks now, and that we've been banged up a little bit at the linebacker position, and guys have stepped up and have done things, and Andy's done it for a couple, 3 weeks now, and no, I'm really excited about him. And you talked about there's a true team guy. I mean, he came here as a tight end. He got thrown over to outside linebacker during the season last year, if I understand correct. And then certainly he worked at it this spring and fall. And then we had a needed inside linebacker. He didn't blink an eye. Said, what can I do to help? And he does it on special teams also. Class dude, hard worker. I'm fired up about Andy.